Music's playing. We are recording, which means you are back on for another episode of the GAJ Podcast. Welcome to Season 1, Episode 26. We are your hosts, the Bio Bros. My name is Gerard, my little brother Alex, and unfortunately this week we are sans JR. He is working hard, hitting bonuses, and he is hopefully going to catch back up with us.
I still think he was kidnapped by a Cybertruck.
Oh man! Speaking of, I meant to text you last week and I forgot. Well, we'll get into that. But yeah, unfortunately, JR is not here. He will hopefully be back next week. Again, as always, we have priorities in our lives that are not always the podcast, so we have to make livings and do all that stuff. But JR, we miss you. Hopefully, we'll have you back next week. Getting to our subscriber watch, we're doing okay. We are doing okay. Show you how okay we are doing. Let's see here. Let's go to window, share. Here you go. We're doing on YouTube. We're doing pretty well. We're up to 12 subscribers in the last. Looks like the last 28 days. We are up 161% in our views. Viewing time is up 138%, and somewhere along the way we added a subscriber. Whoever you are, thanks for subscribing. Hopefully you're still listening, and you'll help us keep our play count up. On Spotify, Spotify is kind of stagnant. I know that's not kind of the primary platform we are on, but it is, but we just don't have as many plays there. But we're getting a few plays here and there in the last 30 days. I guess these are all-time numbers, but 121 plays, averaging about 4 plays per episode. So we're doing all right. Again, we don't do a whole lot of outbound marketing of the podcast yet, but it is what it is. Hey, Alex, by the way, I don't know. Do you have lights on? You're looking a little dark.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why it looks a little dark. I mean, we can see you. Just didn't know if you wanted more, but anyway, yeah. So subscribers, keep coming. We appreciate you. If you do decide to join us, don't forget to not only hit that subscribe button, but hit that notification bell for us so that you know when a new episode comes out. And of course, if you do decide to join us, we'd love to hear from you. Maybe just a quick comment with the little wavy emoji. We'd love to shout you out. Or any suggestions, comments, questions, criticisms. We'll take it all. But whatever it is, we're happy to have you. Speaking of comments, as always, we are playing the Ashley Cameo Challenge. If you do see my lovely fiance pop her pretty face in, feel free to leave a comment. Tell her hi and leave a timestamp so we know when you chimed in, and we'll give you a shout out. All right, moving on. What is for dinner? We had a long weekend. So first of all, hope everybody had a safe and happy Labor Day. To all of you laborers out there, thank you for all you do, including in my own line of work, my technicians. Thank you for all the hard work. And not only the hard work and all the hours you put in, but the quality of work that you're putting out there as well. I think that's, without saying too much, that is apparent in some of the praise we get back from our customers. So thank you. With it being one of those long weekends, did you do anything cool? Did you have anything good to eat for dinner? Did you Go to any cookouts? Take advantage of any meal specials anywhere?
For dinner tonight, I just had my chicken nugget sandwich. That
Chicken nugget sandwich.
Probably more nights than I would like to admit. I'm not sick of it, so I'll just keep rolling with it.
It's not the worst thing in the world, and it's consistent. I know you're trying to get your protein up, so
Oh, I also had a protein shake.
There you go.
Not really hitting my protein requirements daily.
My dinner was kind of on track with yours. We went camping this weekend, so we had some leftover lunch meat. So there's like 4 thin slices of. We usually get I think a rotisserie chicken or roasted chicken lunch meat. So I put that on. It wasn't enough, so I looked at what else. It became kind of a not leftovers, but using shit up type of a sandwich, right? So I looked in the fridge, found some turkey that Ashley likes. There's only 3 slices, so I slapped that on there. It still wasn't enough, so I was like, what else do we have in here? Found some salami, slapped a little bit of that on there with some pepper jack cheese, some shredded lettuce, and I put a couple slices of tomato on there. And then I don't have mayonnaise here. I don't know why. I must have did in the office. I'm not sure, but didn't have any mayonnaise. Put some mustard and ranch dressing in place of the mayonnaise. You ever do that? Ranch dressing?
No, but I'm not really doing ranch. So I make sure I keep a good supply of mayonnaise. Just because I make a lot of sandwiches.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ranch is the way to go if you're trying to cut down on fats, I guess. I don't know. Well, less fattening, I guess. I'm not sure. But yeah, had that. And then I had a few bites of, ironically, Ashley got off work early and brought home some special they had. It was like a braised pork gnocchi dish. So I had a couple bites of that. And it's delicious, but it was quite a bit. So I think I'm saving it for lunch tomorrow. Over the weekend, as I mentioned, we went camping. One of our dinners was tacos. So as anybody has ever really caught on, I like to go camping. I don't like to play Survivor. So I'm comfortable when I'm camping, even though it's dispersed camping. It's no hookups or anything like that. We made tacos out in the forest, and they were delicious. And then, well, you're going to love this one. I was, if you were with us last week, you noticed I was not in my normal location. I was actually traveling for work. So I was in a hotel room. And the last night in the hotel room, because I had to kind of pack up and get ready to not only be in the office the next morning, but then hit the road right after that, I took advantage of the fact that I had a microwave, and here's what I had. Jalapeno cheese sliders. Delicious. With some jalapeno chips. Oh, man. Bomb diggity.
Those are not cheap out here. I used to get that a lot. Plus, they're also not too healthy.
I got them from... Oh no, I take it back. I was gonna get them from Casey's, the gas station, which they are expensive. This 6-pack is probably like $7 there, but I found them in the Walmart right next door because I was getting some other things anyway, and I was like, oh, sweet. So I had some jalapeno cheese White Castles for dinner. That would have been Thursday night. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. We'll get that out of there. Moving on to out and about again. Long weekend. Did you go anywhere? See anybody? Do anything cool?
I watched so much college football this weekend.
Nice. It was
Friday,
week
Saturday,
1.
Sunday, Monday.
Yeah.
On my computer, multiple windows open, multiple TVs going. So I just want to see it. If I walk to the refrigerator, I want to see a game going. I want to see what's going on. What teams are doing what teams are fucking up. FSU, looking at you.
Yep. Oh, shoot. We'll get into that in a little bit. That'll be part of our breaking news.
Checking out all the games. Obviously, watching Ohio State, watching Michigan, watching Oregon.
You watched all
USC. I was checking out Penn State. Then they went on a weather delay for like 2 hours, so I forgot to click back to that.
You made up for all the college football I did not watch because we went camping. So, yeah, out and about for me. As I mentioned, I was on the road last week. I was down at my company's headquarters, spending some time there with some of the executives because I kind of run a branch by myself. So just trying to learn processes and be able to run an office, make decisions on my own without having to get everything approved. So kind of went over some of that stuff. Also rolled with a few other PMs on some of their meetings, see what they were doing. And I saw your favorite car out at one of my meetings. Oh, yeah, baby. There it is.
It's a different
in all
color.
its glory. It is a matte black Cybertruck. So it looks like a skateboard ramp.
Still looks like shit. I don't know if Johnny's in there. Is that the one that kidnapped Johnny?
Maybe.
Like, let me out of here. There's as much room as they say there in the commercials.
We were kind of laughing at it because we had to get all of our comments out before we got out of the car because we didn't know whose car it was and we didn't know if it was like it's a building that's owned by a doctor and we were like maybe it's his. So let's keep our comments to ourselves when we're inside this meeting.
That bitch doesn't even fit inside the parking space.
No, I mean it's only a few inches from that parking block, and yeah, it's sticking out. I'd rather have that Porsche that's on the other side of it, or this Hummer that's on this side.
Ooh, Hummers.
So, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, so saw that. That was kind of interesting, and then we did some camping. So, did some camping and hiking. We didn't do too much wheeling because that isn't really Ashley's thing. But here's one of the meals we cooked. Pretty healthy, like these chicken sausages, some potatoes, and broccoli. It's actually pretty simple. That's why we had it for dinner the first night because that's when we were kind of on the move. Caught some cool sunset pics. So this is a ridge that we were on, or a glade. It's kind of a like volcanic flow that turned into a national forest. So yeah, we took some cool pictures of the sunset. You can see my GoPro doing a kind of a time lapse of it. What else? This is out in the Mark Twain National Forest. If anybody's ever been there, I go there quite a bit just because it's kind of the closest thing to Kansas City. Here's a video of the dog digging up the dirt. So there's town dirt. I never knew what she would like it, but here's kind of our setup. So after that I put off the truck. This is our big ass tent that I think I'm going to upgrade because this thing takes forever to put up. And then if you are into being comfortable when you're camping primitive style, you have one of these in the background just past Ashley. That is a privacy tent, or what I affectionately call my poop tent. My poop tent. So this is a public trail, so anybody can be on it. Therefore, if you're sitting on the bucket, dropping a deuce, probably want some privacy in case anybody drives by. So we have a poop tent. It doubles as a shower tent too if we're on a longer trip and we want to clean off a little bit. But yeah, primitive style camping, but not uncomfortable. When was the last time you went camping, dude? It's been a minute, huh?
I'm gonna say it was 2020. No, I'm sorry, 2012. I went to a Muay Thai camp where I had to actually camp out.
Oh yeah,
and it was cold as fuck.
I like cold weather camping.
And it rained. Like it was cold. Cold.
That could get rough.
And someone in the tent next to me, one of the mornings, he said, I think a bear came by. So I was like, okay. This is an area that has absolutely zero cell service.
Yep, that's kind of how that goes.
And then I did the same camp. Well, except they held at a different location 2 years ago. So back in 2022. But I was talking to some people and we got a hotel. I had my own room, which was not cheap. A lot of people still camped, but I was kind of over it. But that was different though. That was a freaking heat wave that was going through Oregon. So I was miserable. But
yeah, I'd rather camp in cold weather than hot weather, personally. Even though it was hot as balls this weekend.
I'm not a camping person.
I love it. Just having lived in the city for like the last 20 years, I love being away from it now. Get a little fire started.
I like looking at the ocean. I don't need to look at mountains. Actually, I look the opposite way of the ocean. I see mountains. That's all I'll need to see for that.
I want to go beach camping. I've never done it. I know some people have driven down to like South Padre to do it, so I kind of want to do that.
You can't do it here because they'll think you're homeless and they'll kick you out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Up in the like northern coast of California,
you probably can. You can probably do it up there. Yeah.
Yeah. As I say, I know I think they call it like the Lost Coast. But yeah, I've never gone beach camping. I'd love to do it. It's a little bit different because you got to know about the tide and how far it's going to come in, so you're not too far.
You can pee
down. Yeah, because if that tide's coming in on you, it's gonna get you. This is a cool little
everyone pees in the ocean. So when people say that's gross, tell them to fuck off. Because even hot chicks pee in the ocean. Because we'll be on the beach.
Do you know how big the ocean is?
We'll be on the beach drinking, and which is not legal, but we're still doing it. And no one's going to the bathroom. They just go, "Oh, I'm gonna go for a little dip," and the girls go, "Okay, I'll go with you." They're all going piss.
Yeah,
they're gonna go pee. Guys, like I gotta pee.
Hey,
bye.
If you think you've never been in a pool where people weren't peeing in, you should really think a lot harder about that. So, would you rather be in a pool that people are peeing in, or the ocean,
which is full of pee anyways? It's got
It's got. You think those big old fish don't pee and poop everywhere? Come on, got to be smarter than that. But I did get to fly the drone. That was fun. It's been a minute since I've played with the drone, so got a little footage of our campsite, and then just kind of panning out and showing just how remote we were, which is kind of fun. So, camping. You got anything coming up?
Nope. Just working on my YouTube channel. Up to 134 subscribers. I currently have 84 posted videos. I'm building up a pipeline of videos, so I can just
there you go
at least weekly, and then I can just add some in throughout the week. So I'll do like 2 or 3 a week. And I actually had 3 more videos hit over 1,000 views without even me looking at it. It was really off my radar that I checked, and I saw a couple of videos go over 1,000. One even went over 2,000 views.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome, dude.
It's so random. Like I don't know what influences that because I'll look at other videos and they'll be like 34, 124, 865, 2,000.
That's badass. I have 0 videos that have gotten 100 views or whatever. I did get a picture of, if anybody recognizes this. This is the Big Dipper. So here's the handle. Here's the pot. Big Dipper. Super exciting, I know.
I've really only gone outside city limits far enough to see stars like once in the past. What year was that? 2009, 10, 11? My buddy took me out to Lake Havasu, and we rode some buggies. It sounds kind of gay because it was romantic. Me and some dudes riding around. And I looked up and I saw the fucking Milky Way, and I was like, "Yo, that's pretty fucking sweet." That's the first time I've seen that.
Yeah, so far we did see the Milky Way. That's what some of those pictures like. You can't really tell, but it is a Milky Way. It looks like it's just light pollution. Some of it is, but we were able to see the Milky Way. That's how far out we were.
So I've seen the Milky Way just once. I also saw random. We saw they have wild donkeys out there. Nothing to do with stars.
Oh, cool.
Just watch. Cool, except when you almost run into them because it's nighttime. And guess what? I think from what I hear, they're not light. They're gonna mess you up.
Yeah, it's like it's like hitting just a slightly shorter horse. Here's my sandwich, by the way. Thought you might appreciate that. It was pretty good. Yeah, I mean donkeys. They're a slightly shorter horse. They're strong as fuck, though. I mean, what do you think? You know, back in the days, like the gold miners, all those prospectors, they loaded those donkeys up and then went up and down mountain passes.
That's why it's a good thing that I wasn't driving the little buggy. It's a good thing my buddy was doing it because he's done it before many times. And I don't know, I wouldn't have been able to control it enough. I wouldn't be looking out for fucking donkeys. He's the one that's driving. Also, he slammed on the brakes and there's a donkey in front of us. I'm like, oh, okay, guess we're gonna go around that thing. Because this is at night too. This is pitch black at night.
Did you guys not have any lights on it?
Yeah, but lights are gonna only show you so much.
You guys didn't have the right kind of lights then.
We're not going slow, and this is off-roading.
Yeah.
So it's like
I'm
bumpy.
So I'll go night wheeling, but it's I'm not hauling ass through the forest because I gotta be able to drive that vehicle home. So so you guys were in like a side by side.
Sure, I don't know what that is. He was right next to me.
Yeah,
he was on the left and I was on the right.
Oh yeah, you called it like a dune buggy type.
Yeah, I don't know what they're actually called.
It's a side by side.
Metal cage on it.
Yeah, probably same thing. Yeah, those are a lot of fun. We actually saw a few of them over the weekend. But you can only haul so much in those things. You can haul ass. They're fun, but you can't carry a bunch of gear.
No, they're not meant to carry gear. They're meant to carry two people.
Yeah, in a cooler. I get it. We did it. We did it last year. That was a lot. It was a lot of fun. But we also had a cabin rented, so we had a kind of a home base for the weekend. But anyway, moving on to breaking news. This is breaking to us news. So in case anybody's out there going, that story's hours old or even a day or two old, take it easy. We're just talking about news that's kind of semi-interesting to us. And the first one I want to share is Wallet Hub. I don't know if this is the official whatever, but they came out with their best and worst places to retire, the 2024 edition. It's kind of weird because the mix is kind of melding together and you're seeing like a lot more Midwestern places because not everybody plans to retire anymore. It looks like around 68% of workers are only somewhat confident they'll ever have enough money to retire comfortably, but only 21% are very confident. Most people don't expect to retire until at least 65 plus. So, yeah. Top 5 cities. 4 of them are in Florida, which kind of boggles my mind, to be honest. And then the non-Florida is Minneapolis, Minnesota.
That's cold.
No, that's fucking way cold. And I lived in Milwaukee for 10 years, and Minneapolis is colder. But I'm kind of surprised that all the other 4 cities of the top 5 are Florida. I don't know about you. What do you think about that? Like, there's a lot of humidity down there that I'm not.
Yeah, I don't get the whole Florida thing. Plus, it rains a lot, and they have alligators and wild boar that mess up your lawn. I guess maybe because some old people just decide to move to Florida once they're old enough, and then people start following, and they just build communities around it.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like none of those cities were in Arizona City or Southern California or Texas.
Palm Springs is a big senior citizen area.
Yeah.
I don't know what to exactly call it. It's a big like retirement population.
But I'm kind of surprised.
It's super hot.
Surprised to see how many of these places are like in the Midwest as far as popular.
Well, it's cheaper. It's
Yeah,
cheaper in
that's
Florida,
fair.
it's cheaper in California.
Oh, I guess the rankings, the blue ones are like the lower rankings, so it is what it is. But here's a longer list. So yeah, 4 of the top 5 are Florida cities, which is again weird to me. Number 3 is Minneapolis, which is even more mind-boggling. But then you get into Scottsdale. I've heard that. Cincinnati.
That's
okay.
Weird.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in Ohio and you don't want to move too far, I guess Cincinnati makes sense. Back in Florida with St. Petersburg, which is kind of near Tampa. So I don't know. That to me, St. Pete's and Tampa is basically the same thing. Wyoming.
Sure, if kind of away from everything.
Yeah, that's you know what? I don't hate that. I'm kind of getting to that point in life where I'm just like, I like being away from people. I'd rather be out in the middle of nowhere with just a few people instead of a big old like hotspot for everybody.
I'm the opposite. I like being around big populations, but still being like a hermit.
Yeah,
like that's a guy that doesn't talk to anyone. Yeah, he just goes to the
here's
gym.
The thing, like the other thing I'm surprised about is that look at this. You can see the top 20 right here. None of them are Southern California. None of them are California, period. And to me, like California and then like maybe the western part of Arizona, that's kind of perfect. So you can get to, you're really close to where higher populated areas, and you're still pretty close to being able to be away from everybody, whether that's in mountains, in the desert, a couple hours from the beach at most. So like,
the thing about Southern California is that you're not going to have a whole lot of space. You're not going to have.
True.
You may retire here, but you're not going to have a lot of land. I'm not sure how much.
But that's the same thing for Florida. I mean, when you think about, Orlando is fucking crowded. Miami, there's not much space as far as that's concerned. Like, it's super expensive too. There's most of these. I mean, I don't think of a lot of space until you get to Casper, Wyoming.
Yeah. I think it might just be also the cost of living in California is way higher than.
Yeah, that's kind of what I would think.
So you're not gonna have a lot of space. Cost of living's high. If you're talking about Southern California and you're more towards Los Angeles, you're talking about like massive traffic and overpopulation.
Yeah, but even that makes it even more so surprising that there's not more Arizona cities on here.
Maybe it's too hot. Maybe it's too hot for them.
Maybe
they like a little rain. Old people like a little bit of rain. They prefer the humidity to the dry heat.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. I'm the other way around. I don't know why anybody would want to retire in St. Louis. St. Louis sucks.
Ew, yeah.
Austin's cool. Austin,
area.
Texas. Whoops. Maryland, I don't know. Akron, Ohio. How about that? I don't think those people ever went to Akron before that because I don't know if you remember being like in Stowe, Ohio, which is right next to Akron. It smells like tires.
I think those are people that lived in Akron their entire lives. Like,
oh, okay. You know what? That makes sense. Virginia Beach would be cool, especially if you're military. Here you go.
That's kind
San
of surprising.
Francisco.
It's a heavily populated area.
San Diego's not surprising.
San Diego's awesome. I think I keep saying I want to move to San Diego at some
Dream
point.
City. Ever since high school, that's the dream city,
But I've also kind of migrated to the different parts of San Diego. I wanted to live downtown before. Then, like, the pandemic happened, and I got older, and I was like, how about I just move up to northern San Diego?
Yeah,
beach area.
Remember when we almost moved to, where was it, La Jolla?
La Jolla. Yeah, if you would have asked me like 8 years ago, I'd say, hell no, I don't want to live in La Jolla. Now I'm like, you know what? La Jolla is really nice.
Yeah, that might have been
the thing is they have a college there, so I think a lot of the population is going to go to UCSD. Plus, I heard the way that the roads are set up, the freeways, it's kind of it's more trafficy than normal. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about moving to San Diego. So
okay.
I'm trying to look at the land. I'm like, yeah, I could do that. And I'm like, nah, maybe not that area.
God, why would you want to live in Los Angeles? Look at this. Los Angeles, number 45. Unbelievable.
You're super rich.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot.
You like to be seen.
When you say Los Angeles, like, okay, which part of Los Angeles? Because there's like the beach places, which are vastly different than Hollywood, which is vastly different than downtown. So Los Angeles feels like 3 states.
Yeah, I don't know.
States. It's just so different from one point to the next, and it's at the point where they say, yeah, if you live in Santa Monica, you're never going to go to downtown. You may have friends downtown. You're going to see them maybe twice a year because you're just not going to stomach the transit down there. But it's so close. Yeah, no, it's not.
How about this one, Reno? That means you like hookers and meth.
Old people live in Reno. I was going up to Reno when I was working for a company a few years ago because we had a warehouse partner that was up there, and it was
okay.
Well, it was there. We went there and we went to St. Louis, and I'll tell you, 100%, I'd rather go to Reno.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's still not great, but it feels better than St. Louis. St. Louis is just like St. Louis is just dead suburbs. Reno is kind of like a smaller, much smaller Vegas, and
with nicer like surrounding areas.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Not by much though. I had one hotel room that had a jacuzzi in it. That was awesome. I spent hours in that thing. It's just like get off work, just fill it up. And then one of my coworkers was kind of jealous, so he just kind of put it down. He kind of played it down. He's like, I would never get in that. And then the next trip, he tried to book that same hotel because he wanted the jacuzzi. You freaking douche.
I'll tell you what. San Antonio is number 52 on here. San Antonio is a cool city. I love that city. I had
never been.
It would have never been on my short list until I had to go there for work. And I've been there twice. One time I wasn't even downtown, close to downtown. I was staying on the outskirts, and the event, we actually got on a bus and went to like a rodeo. Very cool, by the way. And then the second time I was right in the middle of downtown, and they have a beautiful downtown area with like a river walk right on the river, some nice restaurants and bars. San Antonio is, I would definitely consider San Antonio. Overland Park, Kansas. So I work very close to there. I play softball down there. It's where we kind of want to move probably in the next 2 years. That roughly around that area.
How far is that from Kansas City?
Depending on what part, 20 to 40 minutes.
Okay. So it's like a suburb of Kansas City?
Yeah. It's one of the more affluent suburbs in the Kansas City area. Very nice area. It's Johnson County, so you get a lot of, if you know type of deal, but you get a lot of privilege out there. But it's a very nice area. It's, home values are very high. So we're not looking right in Overland Park, probably next to Olathe. And again, if you know. But yeah, pretty nice area. And then for me, it'd be a lot closer to work. Long Beach, how about it? That's Long Beach, Huntington Beach.
Long Beach, you can almost slot in as part of Los Angeles.
Oh, really?
It's part of LA County. Sometimes
okay.
It's considered part of LA.
So would you say Huntington Beach is actually that much different that they listed them separately?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Huntington Beach is straight out Orange County.
Right on.
Surprised they're that high up, though. Well, we're in the 50s now.
Yeah. Colorado Springs, that's a kind of a cool town. I don't know if you've ever been
Henderson,
there.
Nevada. Henderson, that's weird because I saw Las Vegas up higher. When people move to Las Vegas, they actually move to Henderson. And
no shit. Okay.
Yeah, and then they never go to Las Vegas is more or less the strip and like.
Yeah, that's where you go out to, but you don't actually want to live there.
Areas, meth and hookers.
Gotcha.
So they moved to Henderson, and people that live in Henderson, they look at the Strip and they go, "Yeah, we don't go there. It's
interesting.
We don't deal with the Strip."
Hey, here you go, Irvine.
Oh, you missed one.
Oh, Columbus,
Ohio.
The bus.
I would not retire. Well, if I had to retire in Ohio, it'd probably be Columbus, but I wouldn't want to retire.
I'm more of a Cincinnati guy.
I'm a Columbus guy.
Which is funny because I don't really like any of their sports teams. I like the Cleveland teams better. But I'd rather be in Cincinnati. That's just me, though.
Irvine.
Yeah, they got your Inland Empire, Irvine, California.
That's the Inland Empire. Irvine's
not?
Orange County. No.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Irvine's pretty decent. I'd say pretty
I don't
decent to
know.
retire because they're very suburban.
Oh,
It's still
okay.
close enough to like beaches and having access to go up to Long Beach in Los Angeles.
Well, that makes sense then for a retiree. So,
Yeah. It's still expensive as shit though.
well, it's California, so it's still California. Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I don't know. Maybe I don't know enough about Cedar Rapids. I've driven past it. It's in the middle of Iowa, so if you like being far away from fucking everything, go to Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
You want to see the Milky Way every night? All right, there you go. Oh, wait,
Maybe.
it's cloudy there too. Never mind.
Well, I don't know. They have just enough like lights that you may not be able to see the Milky Way. I don't know. Cedar Rapids, it's I don't know. There's nothing that sounds at all appealing about anything in Iowa.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, unless you want to go see like the Field of Dreams or something, but
I'll just
that's
watch
a road trip. Yeah. Well, that's a road trip for me. That's, a few hours. I'd like to go see it, but not. I don't want to live there. Fucking A.
Honolulu's right below that. I wouldn't know. Never been there. Never been to Hawaii.
I mean, I get it when you think about pictures and everything, like everything you've seen about Hawaii and the paradise, but it's an island.
It's even more expensive there. Yeah,
It's an island, dude.
I've met several people from Hawaii here, and I'm like, why'd you move here? Or why'd you move away from Hawaii? And one guy explained to me, this was a coworker, he says, if you drive around the island for 45 minutes, you've seen the entire island. That's why he moved to California.
It's an island. Like, yeah. I
don't know if he's from Honolulu or another part, because obviously
that explains it perfectly. Like, you drive around for long enough, you've seen all of it, and then now you're stuck there. You can't just drive across the bridge.
You can't be like, let's go to Vegas. Let's go to Vegas, guys. Yeah, sure. Let's drive there or take a short plane ride, or go up to San Francisco, or go to Phoenix. That's all within pretty close distance.
Yeah,
for me at least. Hawaii, it's like, yeah, we could just look at the ocean, which is cool until you're like, I can't go anywhere else.
Yeah, and then you've seen all of it, and then the fucking volcano erupts, and you're all kinds of screwed.
Looks like we're dead. That's it for us.
Where do we go? Hope somebody's got a boat, an ocean-worthy boat. Little Rock, I guess if you like a quiet life.
If you like Slick Willie.
I like Arkansas. Like, I like going camping in Arkansas, but
I saw Slick Willie speak, and I was like, man, he has aged a shitload. I mean, he doesn't look unhealthy. It's just like, yeah, time's gotten to him.
Finally then, because he looked the same for like 40 years.
It's mostly his voice, and that he may have a condition. I don't know, because that's probably shitty of me to make fun of someone's medical condition, but he may have a medical condition that's making his voice sound like that. But that kind of gives more of a elderly feel to him.
Yeah, he was kind of the same guy for a long time. So if he just now started aging, all of a sudden, like,
yeah,
he's doing all right.
I think
he's doing all right.
77 or 76 from what he said.
Man, in these 80s, here these higher 80s, you're seeing more of the Arizona cities: Phoenix, Gilbert, Peoria, Arizona. I don't know. Milwaukee. I loved living in Milwaukee. I don't hate this one. It's cold too.
Yeah,
but at least I don't know. I love Milwaukee, so having lived there, I think I wouldn't mind going back. But if you don't like cold weather, you're not going to Milwaukee. Which, ironically, here's
Anchorage, Alaska.
I would still want to do. I totally want to do like a road trip to Alaska, like all the way through Canada to see all that, but I don't know if living there is what I want to do.
There may be parts of Canada where it's like, no one lives here. If your car breaks down, you're pretty fucked.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, it's
or
it can get pretty remote, dude.
You see a moose, that thing's gonna want to fuck you up. And
it can get pretty remote.
You can try to drive, but then it's gonna be like, hey, look, you're gonna find out that moose are pretty fast.
What's the difference between Las Vegas and North Las Vegas?
North Las Vegas is probably even more suburban because I know a lot of, since I deal with a lot of logistics, a lot of warehouses are located in North Las Vegas. So it's probably like the boonies of Las Vegas.
I wonder why those aren't just grouped together. But I guess they are separate cities, so.
Yeah.
Then you get into your big cities, Boston. Or like you're more like.
I think that just the people in Boston. The people in Boston are enough to make me not want to go there.
It's different. It's different.
Hey, we finally hit Chicago.
He's in Chicago. I've never even heard of Nampa.
Yep. That's probably why they like it out there.
Yeah, sure. I bet that. Albuquerque, you probably into human trafficking.
That's where Breaking Bad was.
Oklahoma City and Des Moines. Like, what? Just what? I don't.
Yeah, but we're also in the above the 100s now. So we've gone through 100.
That's true. That's true. Okay, that's fair. That's a good observation. Springfield, Missouri. Yeah, I like Springfield, but it's because I don't have to live there. Here we go, Kansas City.
110.
Santa
Ana, California. There's another Orange County.
Fort Wayne, Indiana. Man, some of these cities.
Right above Fort Wayne, though, Santa Ana that has a lot of gang activity.
Oh.
I would never live. Well, it's not some good areas, too, so I don't want to put it down. It still attracts some like younger crowds, just to specific areas. But they also have areas that are incredibly bad.
Yeah, okay.
I think I saw Oceanside there. Oceanside is the northernmost part of San Diego. That's what I was thinking about. I could possibly try to
Buffalo. Jesus. I mean, we're up above 100 now. So
Anaheim,
Irving, Texas, Glendale. I don't know. I think. I don't know where the cities are in Arizona, but I think Arizona is where I'd like to go retire. Like somewhere close to the California border, so you can be at the beach within a few hours. You can be in the mountains. You can be in the desert.
That's
golf course.
You're probably looking at 5-6 hours to get from Arizona to the ocean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a good amount.
Still, though, I mean, for me, that's a shorter drive than driving to Chicago.
Arizona's going to be really hot, but like I think you can get a decent amount of land out there, as long as it's not Phoenix. Glendale's part of Phoenix.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to be in the city anymore. Like, we were talking about Overland Park, Kansas, which is a suburb of
Glendale.
Kansas
Yeah,
City.
Glendale's probably like the Overland Park of Phoenix.
Okay.
Comparable.
I'd be down with that.
Ooh, San Jose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're in the 120s now, so Toledo, I think we might have. Here's one that I'm surprised by. If fucking like Des Moines and Cedar Rapids are on there, how is Omaha 132nd? Omaha is a nice city. I don't know if you've ever been there, but
no
I like Omaha way better than Des Moines, and most likely a lot better than Cedar Rapids.
Right below there, we have ghetto Oakland.
Oakland.
And right below that, I can't believe Oakland is ranked higher than Oceanside.
Yeah.
Oceanside's really, really nice. Oceanside is where they have the Top Gun house.
Okay.
Hey, there's New York. I'm
surprised Nashville's this low too, because I feel like that'd be a cool spot to retire. But anyway, we're beating this list to death because we are way past 100 now. So
what's the final one? What number is it?
Final. Whoa, one too far. Where'd it go? Goes up to 182. San Bernardino, California. Stockton. Here you go, baby.
There's Ranch. That's where
your OG city.
Yeah, CJ Stroud represent. Stockton's pretty bad. Stockton's way north though.
God, Wichita.
San Bernardino's disgusting. Montana. Yeah, this list is like these are where people want to retire. This is just where people end up because
that's where they started.
Yeah. Montana's disgusting. Fontana's right by Rancho Cucamonga. Ontario is right by Rancho Cucamonga. Yeah, this is where people end up. Like, oh, I guess I'm retired now.
Well, if you're retired, you can look into the next story that I wanted to bring up. Back in 1977, some hikers found a body in a cave along the Appalachian Trail, and they dubbed this body Pinnacle Man. Well, just recently, they figured out who this man was. So after 47 years, authorities have identified the body of quote-unquote Pinnacle Man, who was discovered by hikers in 1977 inside a Pennsylvania cave along the Appalachian Trail. So this is a drawing that we've all seen. I think we all thought it was some like ancient caveman that was very well preserved. Nope. It was a 27-year-old named Nicholas Paul Grubb, who I'm not sure how he got there, but they finally identified him. They found fingerprints somehow. I can't remember how they did it. I read this and I already forgot the whole thing. But yeah, so I guess I don't know if he went missing. Oh, here. The family's been looking for their loved one for over 40 years, not knowing whatever happened to them. So I don't know if any of his family's around, but hopefully they were able to get a little bit of closure from this, whatever you want to call it, discovery. Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of interesting. I remember, like, I've seen this picture before, and yeah, I always thought it was like some like miraculously very well preserved like Neanderthal or some sort of caveman, right? Nope. Some dude that got lost and died while he was hiking.
I've never heard this story before ever.
I just remember the picture. And I'm pretty sure I've seen the picture before. I didn't really know the story other than I thought it was a frozen man that they found that was like the most well preserved, like ancient man, I guess, ever, something like that. But apparently we were all wrong. So anyway, hopefully somebody got some closure of that. So well done, whoever did that. We have arrived at, so we started talking about college football. We'll start there. So we just crossed week 1 of college football. Ohio State walloped Akron.
Before you click out of that,
yeah,
that Oreo thing looks awesome.
It really does, doesn't it? Is that like an ice cream sandwich?
Yeah.
That is an ice cream sandwich. I might have to look for that.
That looks awesome.
That looks delicious.
This advertising's getting me. It looks amazing.
It worked. Well, now we talked about it, so it's going to show up on your Facebook feed.
God damn it! It's going to be an Instagram, like just Oreo cookies.
Oreo cookies and nipple tassels. But yeah, we have finally reached football season. Week 1 of college football. I don't really have anything prepared because I didn't want to get copyrighted banned or whatever they call it. But Ohio State, our favorite team, walloped Akron. I think it was like 57 to 3 or something like that.
2-6. There's 2 field goals.
Okay.
It was a slow start, but I felt a lot better about this quarterback than from Kyle McCord. Like, it was a different feeling.
He looked like I only watched highlights, but he looks like a much better passer than Kyle McCord.
I don't see he's much better. He's more mobile, so you have dual threats. He's tougher than Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord was kind of a wussy. That's why he kind of lost his job. That's why Ryan Day told him there's going to be a QB competition.
That's why he had to transfer when his best friend went to the NFL.
Yeah. But I felt a lot better about Will Howard. Given this is one game, he was not spectacular, and it was against a very low-level team.
Yeah. It was Akron.
And we had a slow start.
But how about Jeremiah Smith, dude?
Some of the slow start was because Jeremiah Smith seemed to have a little bit of jitters. He had a drop ball. That drop ball screen pass, from what everyone says, it was a clear path to the end zone. He would have a touchdown there. And then he had a false start the very next play. And then after that, it was his show. The only thing about Jeremiah Smith,
at one point he had
he's so good that he makes some of the bad throws from Will Howard look better than they actually are. Like, he should have had a touchdown.
I was about to ask you that because you watched the game. Like, was Will Howard good, or was he serviceable and Jeremiah Smith made him look a lot better? Kind of like Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyle McCord.
Yeah, I'd say it's similar, but I still think Will Howard's better than Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord can run, so that's one thing. He can pass, I think, just as good as Kyle McCord. He may be better. Once again, just one game against a low-level team, so every reaction is probably an overreaction.
Yeah, but, I mean, I don't know. I'm just going off of eye test, and I only watched highlights. Will Howard definitely looked, to me, looks a lot, well, I don't know about a lot, but noticeably better than Kyle McCord. Not that Kyle McCord sucked. No offense, Kyle. You are a good quarterback. Just not.
He had a good game for Syracuse. They played, I don't know who they played. Some shitty team. But he threw like 350-something yards. He threw, I think, 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Oh, okay.
He's playing for Syracuse. It's not going to have the same level of pressure as Ohio State.
Yeah.
And if he would have stayed at Ohio State, no doubt he would have been better. He saw his limitations, though. And that's where Will Howard's more of an upgrade. So Kyle McCord would get in trouble, and the O-line would fall apart, and Kyle McCord just getting sacked or fumbling. Yeah. Will Howard can run. So that's the thing about him. He can run.
How about the defense, though? 2 pick sixes? Is that what I saw?
Pretty nasty, yeah. Defense
cool.
One of the better ones.
And if it's so yeah. And by the way, the Bears, the Buckeyes fared a lot better against Akron than Michigan did against who'd they play? Fresno State?
Fresno State, who some people say is much better than an Akron level, they're probably better, but I'm not considered they're light years ahead. Michigan still should have blown them out.
I was gonna say it was, what was it, 13-3, 13-6? Or no, 20.
The final was like 30. Final was like 30-17 or something like that.
Oh, I didn't finish the highlights then.
That's mainly because Michigan still has a really good defense, so they got a pick 6 late.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter. I saw the defense go to work.
Their offense, though.
But
a lot of people on their O-line are no longer with the team. Now you have this quarterback controversy because we kept hearing that Alex Orji was going to be the starting quarterback. But I listened to podcasts, and they're like, well, he completed less than 50% of his passes when he was in high school. So I don't know why they're saying he's a starter. And then what we saw happen is that they started someone else. And Alex Orji is more of a running quarterback.
Situational.
Yeah, it's like he can throw a little bit. He threw. I saw him throw a bounce pass. So
he had that.
Throwing's not his thing.
He had that goal line pass for a touchdown where everybody was just expecting him to run, and
yeah, so he could threaten you.
He rolled out. Everybody was chasing him, and he flicked it over to the tight end for a walk-in score.
Michigan is not looked.
If we're talking about college football, man. How rough is Florida State feeling right now? They were ranked, what, 6th?
10. They're number 10.
And then they lost to Georgia Tech in Ireland.
This is coming off of last year when people thought it wasn't fair that they were left out of the playoffs despite going undefeated.
I still think that's arguable. I think there's an argument there, but
no, the committee made the right choice.
It made it harder to say the committee was wrong when you came back and you just lost your first 2 games of the season. Now, granted, they weren't exactly like slouches in Georgia Tech and Boston College, but
Boston College, who has Billy O'Brien as the head coach.
Bill O'Brien,
who is temporarily the offensive coordinator at Ohio State, who got Julian Sayin, the transfer from Alabama to Ohio State. Julian Sayin, who's the number 1 recruited quarterback coming out of Carlsbad, California. He's from San Diego area.
Right on.
Now, what I'm worried about is if somehow Ryan Day's not with the team next year, does Julian Sayin transfer out? That's what I'm worried about.
How come he's not getting a chance this year?
Julian Sayin, because he's a freshman.
So?
Ohio State doesn't play freshmen. They don't start freshmen.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. Penn State did it last year. Nebraska's doing it this year with whatever his name is, Raiola. But
maybe not start him, but they got to give him some looks, right? They're going to get him in there at some point.
Maybe, but I know they want to. I would say they want to develop Devin Brown as a legit backup in case something happens to Will Howard.
Gotcha. Well,
Devin Brown got some snaps. He didn't look great though. They may have been play calling. They're like, "Hey, just hand off the ball." Maybe throw a couple here and there. Just hand off the ball.
Yeah, get in some feels. But so football season has officially started, which means the Major League Baseball races are starting to get into the real meat and potatoes. Really, the only team we care about is the Chicago Cubs, who are unfortunately they're in second place, and they have had a great run lately. They had a pretty decent road trip that they went 8-1. They, including a couple of sweeps. One of those sweeps was the Pirates in Pittsburgh. However, they started a home series against Pittsburgh today and gave up a late lead to lose the game. So there's that. But there's in second place. Unfortunately, they're 10.5 out of the lead. So I think their only hope is the wild card, which unfortunately they're 4.5 back. So they'd have to. I mean, if they stay hot, they have a chance. Because it's the Mets and the Braves are who they have to catch for the wild card spots. So there's a chance. They got to stay hot, and their offense has been heating up at the right time because people are starting to catch up to their pitching a little bit. So if they can keep putting runs up on the board and kind of manage a balance there, I think they have a chance. So, fingers crossed. Go Cubs, go. Now, what we were all wanting to talk about as far as professional sports, we are officially about to start week 1 of the NFL season.
2 days away?
2 days away. We're starting off. The leadoff game is the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Baltimore Ravens. And I am lucky enough to have been given tickets, so I will be at the game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. We're going to see 2 of the more electric quarterbacks in the league playing, 2 of the, the better tight ends, and Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews. Both teams have some pretty serviceable bruising, hard-running running backs, and pretty good defenses. So I'm pretty excited to see this game. I think it's going to be a good one. Going into week 1, who do you think? Chiefs or Ravens for that one?
I hate Harbaugh. So Chiefs.
You're rooting for the Chiefs. I gotcha. I'm curious because if it's anything like last year, like the Chiefs, the first half of the Chiefs season was not spectacular. There was some perseverance to get back to not just the Super Bowl, but the playoffs. So they obviously they ended up winning, and in that win, kind of achieving what I would say is dynasty status. Going to 4 out of the last 5 Super Bowls, winning 3 of them. I'd say that's pretty good. I think they're going to win. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think they're still going to pull that one out, and I'm excited to go watch it. But the team I want to win more is the Bears, and the Bears are lined up with the Titans. That's kind of interesting. They're going to go out of conference for the first game of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle between Caleb Williams and Will Levis.
Will Levis, yep. Big arm. Will Levis has a heck of an arm. He ain't no Caleb Williams, though. And then our receivers, man, I feel like we should be in good shape against Tennessee. I'm going to have to make sure I talk some shit with Jen and Erica and Ashley.
Speaking of which, we just had the season finale of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, I need to watch it, so don't tell me about it because I think I have 2 episodes to watch. So, because I didn't even see the episode where they were here in Kansas City, and I completely forgot Travis Bagent. That's the dad of Tyler. Or what? Which one is it?
Tyson
Bagent. His dad is Travis Bagent. He did an arm wrestling exhibition at Blue Line, which is usually, we don't go out very much anymore, but that's usually the bar we go to if we go. And I forgot about it. I went and played softball, for softball, or met up with some softball guys, and didn't go be a Bears fan. I'm a little bit disappointed in myself, to be honest.
Bagent's dad's pretty animated. I wouldn't mind seeing a show with him paired up with Jason Kelsey.
Ooh!
Go out in the where the fans are. Go out with what's it called? The tailgating parties.
Yeah.
Just walk around, watch people give you beers, and
go
party.
Go join the Bills Mafia again.
I don't know if Bagent's dad drinks though. I haven't seen him drink anything, at least on the show.
I don't know. He's a pretty.
I guess you know what?
Boisterous alpha male.
I'll wrestle all the
beer,
freaking tailgaters out there. You know they're gonna have some dumbass fans like, yeah, I could take you. You're a world champion.
He's
but you know who I am.
He's pretty entertaining in those situations though. Because they'll be like, okay, here, I'll give you a chance. I'll arm wrestle you with my offhand or whatever.
Yeah, he's gonna hurt some people. And then Jason Kelsey would just jump on top. He'll wreck some tables. He'll just jump on top of him. Yeah, did I watch that?
Maybe that's why Travis Bagent doesn't.
I know Jason
drink.
Kelsey's like on some pregame show now for who knows what. I'm like,
ESPN.
Is it just let him be him? Don't be like, okay, give me your analysis on their O-line. Like, no, go drink a beer and go wreck shop.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. And then the New Heights podcast. Excuse me. The New Heights podcast just got picked up by Amazon for, I think they signed a big old $100 million deal, didn't they?
Yep.
So, holy shit. I wonder if Travis Kelsey's about to retire soon too, because
I don't want to get hit anymore.
You don't need that money.
Talk about nothing on.
He's got 3 Super Bowl rings. He's already considered one of the greatest tight ends of all time. He's dating a billionaire and just signed a $100 million deal for his podcast that he does with his brother.
Yeah, I think it's retirement time. I'm like, do you want to get more CTE? or do you like your
Tell
brand?
you what, if somebody gives us even $10 million for our podcast, I'm retiring from whatever job I'm doing at that time too.
Maybe $1 million. I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna take a little time off.
Yeah. At the very least, it's not necessarily retiring. I'm just, I've made a career change. I've made a full-time career change.
There's a game on Friday too. Our favorite team there, the Cheeseheads,
The Puckers,
playing the Eagles. So
the Ass Packers.
It's going to be 1, 2, 3. Is there a Monday night game? Holy shit, dude!
So there's 4 games or 4 days of football. Thursday, Friday. Is there a Saturday game?
Days. NFL is going to be 4 days, and then throwing college on Saturday.
Oh yeah, I just meant NFL. So NFL's Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday.
Yep.
Holy balls!
Yep.
I need to set my fantasy team.
Pittsburgh plays Atlanta. I'm pulling for Pittsburgh if they're starting Justin Fields. So I don't want them to win because they're starting Russell Wilson. So I want them to play like shit. I want them to lose, and then they switch to Justin Fields. Well,
Atlanta's got two quarterbacks, and
one's really expensive.
And Kirk Cousins and
one's cheap.
Penix.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that they drafted. You just paid for Kirk Cousins, and then you're going to go draft somebody? Like, they must think...
Someone that's pretty old, too. So by the time he starts, he'll be, like, in his 30s.
Yeah, as I say, like, they must think Kirk Cousins doesn't have much left in him, but...
I think it's a 3-year deal with Cousins. So they figure he could potentially just sit for 3 years and learn from Cousins, or they could switch out when Cousins flames out. Maybe like, yeah, not having a good year. Switch.
And then he's the most expensive backup quarterback in history.
Yep. Speaking of which, the Bears, they're most. So well, they'll cover this on Hard Knocks, but it's also if you pay attention to the Bears. So they went with 2 quarterbacks. So it means they kept Caleb and they kept Bajent, and then they cut both Austin.
Oh, they didn't keep
Rippon.
They didn't get. I thought Brett Rippon was a good guy to have back there.
But Rippon, well, when they get cut, they can come back as part of the practice squad.
Sure.
Rippon got snatched up by Minnesota. So Austin Reed's on the practice squad. So Chicago has 3 quarterbacks, with Bacon as the most experienced one, who's in his 2nd year.
Oh my gosh!
But if they would have kept 3, it would have been they probably should have kept Rippon.
I can't. Yeah,
he has 6 years of experience. Badgett has 1. Then you got 2 rookies.
I thought Brett Rippon was going to be a number 3. I didn't think Austin Reed was going to be a Bears.
He's getting no play time. He's getting junk minutes.
I can't believe that. But I mean, if you put him on the practice squad, then yeah, I guess that's.
They went with 2 quarterbacks. Rippon, Minnesota said we'll put you on our 53-man roster. So that's why. That's why he's not with the Bears anymore. And Austin Reed is a Bear, which is good for him. Except the Bears have no experience or quarterback.
God.
So Caleb better be this Patrick Mahomes / Joe Montana / whoever else is good hybrid /
makes me nervous. I mean, I agree with Caleb being 1, Bajent being 2, but I thought for sure Brett Rippon was going to be a 3.
I thought Rippon could have possibly been 2.
And yeah, possibly, and at the very least have that experience and be kind of that veteran guidance for those 2, and then help with not play calling, but play signaling, helping them see things that they're not seeing. So, man, that's
they could have the experience come from a 2nd-year player.
The Bears and their quarterback history is it's a rough one. It's a rough one. New England, Cincinnati.
New England is not starting Drake May.
They're not? I thought they were.
Nope.
Who are they starting?
Some other dude.
AJ McCarron or whatever? Or
No, I forgot who it was.
Who
It's Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, okay. Weird.
9 years experience. Okay, I guess maybe they wanted to learn.
Houston and Indy might be kind of a fun one. You've got CJ versus what's that kid's name? Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I heard
dude that can throw a ball a mile.
I heard he didn't do too good in the preseason.
Oh, really? Because he was their high-end pick last year.
Yep, they got injured.
Oh, I forgot he got injured. Jacksonville. You know what? I tell you what. I thought Jacksonville was going to be one of those emerging teams when they had Lawrence, they had Etienne, and they started signing like Calvin Ridley and a few other receivers. And they didn't.
Trevor Lawrence is probably going to be one of the most overpaid quarterbacks. He's not spectacular. He's just like good enough to be their starter.
Yeah.
And Miami's running with Tua. I think he was asking for a ton of money. I'm not sure how that
Tua's got a bunch of tools too, and Tyreek. He's got Jalen Waddle. Who's their tight end? Gesicki. Serviceable.
I think I'm pretty sure they released Claypool.
Well, yeah.
Did he end up somewhere else? Canadian League? I don't know.
And that guy's he's a toxic guy.
That cost Chicago a second-round pick.
Yeah, but we got DJ Moore. We got DJ Moore for
unrelated transaction. But yeah, we did get DJ Moore.
Unrelated transaction, but Poles is making moves, so I'm not mad at it. And there's a lot of upside with Claypool. It didn't pan out. So that's the one that it didn't work out for us. But you get a few pieces, and they don't always. Not all of them fit right. So
DJ Moore might end up being my favorite Bear now that Justin Fields is gone. There's DJ Moore, and there's also Montez Sweat. I don't know, maybe Roma Dunze. I was really excited to pick up Roma Dunze.
I like that pickup too.
My favorite quarterback wide receiver duo to watch last year was Mike Penix Jr. and Roma Dunze, because Mike Penix Jr. could just sling that ball. My favorite wide receiver was Marv, of course, but we talk about quarterback wide receiver duo. You're not going to look at Kyle McCord and Marv and say, "Yeah, that's a great duo." You're going to be like, "Yeah, that's a great wide receiver."
Yeah,
Penix and Dunze were a good pair.
Yeah, whatever, whether you like it or not, like Marvin made Kyle McCord look so much better than he is. Just face it. I'm kind of curious to see Marvin Harrison because he didn't participate in the combine at all, like none of it. He didn't even have a pro day.
I didn't hear anything about him doing anything in the preseason.
Yeah, I think he didn't. I think he even held out for a while before he signed the contract. So that's why he didn't do much in the preseason. So I'm very curious to see how that turns out.
He doesn't have a very good quarterback thrown to him.
Yeah. Well, no, he's got Kyler.
Better than McCord, but
Kyler Murray.
Great.
But Kyler Murray is like.
He was good in college.
He was good in college. He's like the lesser version of Tua. I don't know why I think that. That's how I see him. He's like Tua, but not quite.
He's not a smaller quarterback. He's had injuries. He's had discipline problems. He likes to play video games. I think it's built into his contract that he needs to play less video games.
That's kind of funny. Well, obviously the two games I'm most interested in are Thursday, Chiefs and Ravens. Obviously, live here and I get to go to the game, so obviously interested in that. But the Bears, yeah, I am sorry, I've got like itchy legs. We went camping and just got annihilated by bugs.
No, I got mosquito bites from the gym. I got some.
Oh, we have they're not even mosquito bites. They're like, I don't know. I don't even know what those bugs are called. Like fucking, I got bit by a couple of horse flies. They're fucking huge, nasty things, and then these tiny little like no-see-ums or whatever, just all over my ankles. Ashley just got annihilated. It's all over her, all the way up and down her ankles and her butt and like her torso, her arms, just covered. I got lucky because I wore pants most of the time, so I didn't get it as bad. But when I was wearing shorts, they got me pretty good. And it is itching like a mad.
Another reason why I don't like to go camping. Getting bit.
That's why I like cold weather camping. I like snow camping actually. It's actually a lot of fun. And there's like no bugs. It's awesome. No bugs, and even no people either, because most people don't want to camp in the snow. For me, I'm just like, this is awesome. And you can see pretty clearly if there's been any animals around because they leave footprints in the snow.
Yeah, true. I kind of want to see a team who I didn't hate. I kind of cheered for them a little bit because of the anti-Los Angeles team was the Chargers. But now that their coach is Jim Harbaugh, I just want him to go down hard.
What would you have done if Harbaugh would have came and coached the Bears?
Probably would have liked them.
Yeah.
for one reason or another. He's a Chicago fan. He played for the Bears. He's a Cubs fan. And kind of switch over to, I hope Michigan takes away his time, or I hope the NCAA takes away his national championship.
Yeah, I have to watch it. I haven't watched that documentary yet, but
I haven't either.
I'm curious this year. Like, I know they don't have Harbaugh anymore, but also it's harder to win games when you're not stealing signs. Like, it's one thing to steal signs, right? If you just like are watching and you start figuring out what their play calls are, but to like go in disguise into somebody's practice, like that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I think Michigan should be punished for that too. Like, dude, you're harboring a cheating operation here.
Yeah, like it's actually rules. Like you broke rules.
There's also kind of related, but not 100% Michigan, even though they're involved. There was that. I don't know how the story broke, but there was they say that in 2022, Michigan scouted Tennessee, but they didn't want Tennessee to make the playoffs, so they gave Tennessee signals to South Carolina. South Carolina beat Tennessee, which put Tennessee out of contention for the playoffs. Tennessee's quarterback at that time was a guy named Hendon Hooker, who was one of the favorites to win the Heisman. He got injured in that game. So I was kind of wondering, is he going to, if that shit blows up, is he going to come back and say shit? Because his NFL career is kind of like, he's going to be a backup. But I think someone...
It'd be awesome if he did.
There's some recent news about it, like someone suing someone in regards to South Carolina, the Tennessee game.
Oh, interesting.
If I was Hendon Hooker, I'd be calling lawyers, being like, if this blows up, I'm suing Michigan or South Carolina or whoever. Because I
wonder if all suddenly like
cost them millions of dollars.
What about like? I wonder if all suddenly Florida State has a case, because if Michigan would have lost 2, maybe even just one of those games, all of a sudden Florida State could potentially have been in the playoff and not Michigan.
Possibly.
I mean, maybe not, because they were stealing signs from Ohio State too. So maybe Ohio State wins and goes instead of Michigan. I don't know.
Well, the NCAA is giving their notice to Michigan. They have 90 days, which puts 90 days goes up to right before the Ohio State-Michigan game. But I think Michigan could appeal, which will take another 30 days. So they'll push it past the game.
Appeal what?
The NCAA's letter of violations. I don't know all the details. I just know that the NCAA issued out their letters detailing out what their penalties were or what their violations were.
Yeah.
Michigan
but not what the penalty is.
Oh no, not what the punishment would be. I think Michigan has 90 days to respond, and then, but they can also like delay it for 30 days, or they can appeal it, which would push it back another 30 days. So,
I want to see this stripped.
Yeah, but I think Michigan possibly. This is Ohio State fans just throwing theories out there, and wishful thinking. But Michigan, I think it's pretty clear they cheated.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to deny that. Even Michigan fans, even at some point, I think at some point they're starting to give up trying to say that they didn't cheat. But I think they knew at the time last year to say, hey, we know it's going to take like 2 years for any punishment to come to fruition. Let's continue on the season. We win a natty. We just celebrate for 2 years, and then if they strip it, they strip it.
Yeah, I mean that's what they did with the Fab Five.
They can still enjoy having celebrated.
So they still get the emotions and the feelings and the endorsements and all that.
Nice.
So,
but then it gets taken away and go, oh, that's not fair. That's bullshit. Everyone's doing it. No, it's not. No, everyone's not doing it.
It's not. I mean,
What they do have now is at the since you didn't watch college football, the quarterback, one person on offense, one person on defense. So it's a quarterback and I think one of the linemen. They have speakers in their helmets now.
Yeah.
But they still have to do the signs because only one person has the speaker. And I heard the speakers aren't very good. So it's like
I saw that with Caleb Williams.
Going, I can't hear you.
I remember that happened to Caleb Williams, though. Anyway, we are well past where we usually stop. If you're still with us, thank you for sticking with us. We'd love to have you leave a comment, like the episode, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you know when we are releasing new episodes. Typically, that's Thursdays, but sometimes I screw it up and have to push it to Friday or Saturday. If you don't want to put anything in the comments, but you'd like to ask us any questions or make suggestions or whatever, you can also email us at gajepodcast@gmail.com. And I think that's going to take us into our closing thoughts. Lots going on this weekend, Alex. What are your thoughts going into the weekend?
Don't forget to get exercise. We're going into a season where there's going to be more TV watching and less bodily movement, probably more consumption of calories. And for people in colder regions or regions that have seasons, get that exercise in now because it's going to be harder later on. Don't forget to get exercise.
Good advice. For me, it's don't forget to set your fantasy teams. If you're like me, you're probably in too many leagues as it is, so make sure you check all of them. Make sure you have the right people in place, and have fun rooting for your teams, but not certain players on your teams, or vice versa. It's always a fun dynamic in fantasy football, but yeah. Anyway, thanks again for joining us. Again, comment, like, subscribe, notification bells. If you want JR to take a night off next week and get back on this podcast with us, leave a comment about it. Let him know. He's checking.
Say no to Cybertrucks.
Or make it part of your skateboard ramp course, whatever. That might be kind of cool. I'd like to see that. Or, you know what they should do? Make a Rad 2. I don't know if they ever made a Rad 2. You remember the movie Rad, the BMX?
Oh, yep.
They should do that and have that dude jump off of or onto a few Cybertrucks. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that could work.
I'd be okay with that. Anyway, thanks again for joining us, guys. Thanks again for sticking with us for probably a little bit longer than we should have. But hopefully you enjoyed what we're doing and will continue to join us again. Until next week, this has been yet another episode of the GAJ Podcast. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. OHIO and Bear Down, Chicago Bears. Adios, everybody. Bye-bye. Oh, I got to end this thing. What am I doing? Go Bears!